Well, howdy there. Welcome to Man-O-Rama, where tonight we talk about healthy lifestyle. Pretty much from working out, eating proper, having good sleep, having everything that makes you have a better, long-lasting life. Because as men, we don't really our lives are like shrunken down, but here we're gonna give you guys some keep. And I am hearing myself right now. Wow. How about we just start? All right. Cool.
I don't see the intro music.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Man-O-Rama. This is the 87th episode of Man-O-Rama, where we talk about how to have a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, let's go around the table. And Tom, how's your week been?
Oh boy. Funny enough, ironically, I've changed my healthy style this week, starting last Thursday, right after the show. Talked to a friend. I had to go to I'm diabetic, as I've mentioned before. I went to my doctor and she said, maybe we're going to put you on some cholesterol medication and heart pills. I'm like, no. No. And I'm trying to reverse everything. So I said, give me 3 months. Give me 3 months. So what I've done, starting Thursday, I went on a 30-day it's a fast, intermediate fast where I don't eat between noon and 6 p.m. And I'm also cutting out just meat and vegetables. Nothing, no carbs, no nothing for the next 30 days also. So it's kind of kicking my butt, but plus on top of that, my proofreader backed out again for the second time, so I don't have to proofread my book before I publish. We shall see. I'm gonna do it.
Ordy, how's your week been?
You know, it's going good, and then this morning, Senpai noticed me. Circle K of Ireland.
That was awesome.
Came into my thread. So,
Oh.
yes, so it's red letter day for me.
Nice. Ric Flair Jr.
Alf.
Whether you like it or not,
Awesome.
learn to love it, because I'm the best thing coming today.
Amen.
How's your week been, man?
Not too bad. It's been no cars have been broken down. Knock wood. The weather's been pretty decent. Last week was storms and very unsettled. We had the Debbie rolling up the coast. So far the weather's been beautiful. It's been a great day. Went down to historic Smithville today and did some shops and things like that, and took the dog with us, and he had a great time. He sniffed everything and made some friends. And then I had some delicious hard shell crabs and some steamed shrimp for dinner. So it's been a wonderful day. Oh, and a beer. First beer in a while.
I did see the photo of what you had. Oh, it looked so good.
I was weaned on crabs.
Oh yeah, crabs is so good. Well, not the crabs that some people may think in the ghetto, but you know, the East Coast. I grew up on the East Coast side. Crabs and lobsters is the seafood side. Vincent.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
And his lobster cries.
Yeah.
It was boiled alive. No.
Vincent,
And a
how you
one-boy
doing, man?
party stood there.
I am moderately neato, my friend.
Nice.
I'm still here, so
Yeah.
we're good to go.
And Mike, how's your week been?
Let's see how my week has been. It has been a roller coaster of somewhere between I'm going to conquer this situation that I'm in and I want to die. So feeling pretty good though. Yeah.
There you go.
So you're in a
Right.
vast cage of emotion.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And Canadian Spider-Man, if he has got his mic working, he had a little technical difficulties. But if he's there,
It's because he wants to stand outside shirtless and transmit. That's the whole thing. Tell him to go in the fucking house and do it like normal people. Instead of, oh, look at me.
anyways,
I'm so
week-
rugged.
my
I
week has
am the
been-
lumberjack.
yeah, my week has been, it's been interesting. My wife's going camping with some friends, and she took the dog, so I don't have the dog with me, which is weird because I really do love my dog. But this is the first time my dog's gone camping, and she loves it. Like, she's on the her girlfriends did the whole kayak thing today, and I saw a picture of my dog on the kayak, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome.
So you're at home by yourself.
Yeah.
Unsupervised.
With freedom comes nudity, my friend.
You know, yeah. And Canadian Spider-Man, are we able to hear you? Coming in, nope, we can't hear you.
Nope. Have you tried unmuting? No, that's not.
Yeah.
Anyways, try it again. We'll still have you. Keep trying, buddy. Keep trying. We're here for you for moral support.
Never stop trying.
I know. Yes.
Never give up. Never surrender.
But I do want to say happy birthday to John. John the Beagle Dad on YouTube. Happy birthday. Today's your birthday. Congrats. Yeah. So I knew his birthday was coming up soon, and Andy's like, hey, it's John's birthday today. I was like, I thought that was next week. But no, it's today. So yeah. It's one of those confusion days, you know. But so today we're talking about how to have a healthy lifestyle. That is a wide range. And I told Gary earlier today, he goes, that doesn't sound very manly. I was like, well, how to go to the gym, how to do all these things. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, there's a process. But look, before we do that, we're going to get into this segment right here.
Twitter.
So I kind of changed up Don't Be That Guy because it's really hard to find sent tweets these days. And I mean, there isn't, but it's a little bit difficult. So I toned it to make it more fun. And today we're going to talk about bad medical advice. I had fun with this one. I really had fun, guys. So today we're gonna do this guy, which you can't see his face. Well, you can see his face. Let me zoom out a little bit.
He looks like something Dr. Seuss drew.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
He looks like a who
I know. So this person, I don't know who
or
the
what?
talker is or the what or the. He's wearing a man bun, so he's a male feminist. This person said a lot of people ask me why I eat only fruit. We are electric beings. Voltage in a liquid is measured in pH. This is why I eat an alkaline diet and keep my body's pH at 9.5-ish. Guys, what is the problem with this?
That's stupid.
This is like a slightly more retarded version of William Hoff breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's one of those fad things, and you just following it, and just it works. Stop.
You can tell he doesn't get any protein from animal products.
Unless it's from a horse.
See, that's where yeah. Gallons of semen.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go. His voltage must be extremely low on account that whatever wheels are supposed to be turning upstairs is not turning fast enough.
Well, so the issue that I had with this tweet is, we need protein. We need meat.
Yeah, 100%.
Fruit is
He
good.
gets plenty of meat.
Oh, I bet you he does. But it's
He gets lots of protein.
Yeah.
Like
he said.
fruit is good for in the morning, breakfast and all that stuff. Like throughout the day, it's good. Like having an apple in the morning that wakes you up. It's a big energy boost. But your diet just on fruit, yeah, you ain't gonna last long. How about this one? This gets funny. I found this X account, Bad Medical Takes. This is one of my favorite accounts now. This person said germs do not cause disease. Guys,
Right.
I've actually
Boy,
seen
did we
this
have the
person
Black
in
Plague
other-
wrong then.
I've seen this person in other horrible fucking shitty takes too. She is either a brilliant troll or one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. There's no in between on that.
True.
I want to say this now that I just see it. What were you going to say, Vincent?
No. Go ahead. I was just going to.
I think it's a troll because they're using an
gotta be.
Android phone. Because only an iPhone user would say something and actually believe what they say. Because they all go to Starbucks and have their soy milks. Sorry, not sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
iPhone users
I have
are
no
the
idea
worst
if it's
people on the planet.
the what?
iPhone users are the worst people on the planet.
Yeah, I am. So
Yes, you are.
kiss the tip of my pee-pee, my friend.
Here, let's do another one.
Just
All right.
one.
Here's another one. So, if vaccines are so easy to make, why haven't they made one for the flu?
What?
Okay, now this person seems like they have yellow Post-it notes all around the house to remind them to inhale, and pink Post-it notes to remind them to exhale.
Yeah.
And toes go in first.
This is my favorite tweet.
I put the right leg on first and the left leg.
I'm gonna frame this one. I think.
Twitter.
Andy, how's your brain thinking right now on these?
You know,
It's not Andy.
Most
It's
of
Ric
these
Flair
things-
Jr.
most of these things, I haven't gotten the flu shot in 20 years, and I haven't gotten the
you
flu
too.
either. If you take care of your immune system takes care of the flu.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Funny.
All right, I think there's one more. Here's one. Let me see if it shows up perfectly. A little bit on it. I'll read the last part that no one can see because our faces are right in front of it. Dr. Sheridan Malone. You would think like a doctor would be like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. That don't believe in two gender, don't believe in this.
No.
Steve, the one thing you have to remember about doctors and any other
Bullshit.
important position, like lawyers and shit like that,
Mhm.
even the guy who graduates last in class still gets to be called doctor. So yeah, there's some stupid fucking doctors out there.
Huh.
When you graduate from Hollywood Upstairs College, you're still a doctor.
Yeah.
You went
So
to Hollywood
this-
Upstairs Medical School too?
So this
everybody.
doctor. So this
Holy
doctor
smokes,
said,
you
as a
need
doctor,
booze.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
Okay.
So, as this doctor says this, as a doctor who performs surgery, I've worn countless masks and face shields that were uncomfortable to protect my patients. What if your doctors decided to operate maskless because it interfered with their freedom? You good with that? This person, comrade, said, I love what this guy said. You're given extra oxygen in the OR. Plus, you wear the mask so you don't drool on your patient, not to protect you from a virus.
Yeah.
All true.
Bitch, I've pulled my
It
own
is.
teeth. I'm
Oh,
fine with
Lord.
that.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to, I think, the last one. Let me zoom
Okay.
in.
So
'cause
tiny.
holy crap. I know.
Twitter.
All right. So this one is funny. I
Oh,
know
this
the
one's
wording
good.
is
Yeah.
really bad. This one's great. So this will be the last one. I'm the trauma chief resident at my hospital. Now I saw this and I was laughing, and Gary Ambrosia asked me,
Right.
"Why are you laughing so hard?" And I told him, and I said, I've never heard of this phrase, a trauma chief resident. Never heard of it before. This person, Jeff,
Yeah.
I will buy this person a beer. Oh, you're the trauma chief? Are you? How impressive. I'm the injury overlord at my hospital. When do we start making up titles?
God.
I'm the con of
When you got
boo-boos.
to
I'm the blood god.
It's crazy.
I
Canadian
am the
Spider-Man.
leech overlord.
Canadian Spider-Man, are we able to hear you?
Nope.
Nope, we can't still hear you.
You just sit there.
Try
and look pretty.
try going under. This is why we should have everyone come in early. So we
Under
can
the
figure
screen
all
and
this
pick a
out.
different mic or try switching around.
Yeah, go under the screen and you can decide which mic setting you want. Try that. He's like good and just looking at it like, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, hang on, let me flex, and then I'll go ahead and.
I know, right? Stop putting us to shame, man. But we're
Yeah,
gonna get
exactly.
into the first question here tonight. Let me get this one. Yeah, this is the one that I want to do. Because this is how we roll, baby. Hey. So what was the worst health advice given to you? Vincent.
Oh shit. Pass. I can't think of anything right now.
Okay, Ordy.
Eat pineapple so my semen would taste like chocolate. No, that actually worked.
Wait, what?
Were these?
What?
I
I'm
don't know.
sorry. You what, mate? You what?
What?
Wait, whoa. What?
Anyway,
What? Huh? No, a friend of mine said, here, try these, energy pills. They'll be great for you. They'll help you burn weight and everything. And basically, it just ended up being mushroom-based Adderall. And, which, while fun, yeah, that kind of wears on you pretty quick. I should have known something you get on Amazon called Burn would have been a bad idea.
Yeah.
But
did you
I
feel
was
it?
really fucking alert. I'm super
I bet
focused.
you were. Tom.
Offhand, the most recent one I can think of, I remember when I went in, I mentioned the bleeding of the eyes due to the diabetes, retinopathy it's called. And I asked my doctor, I said, is it okay if I still drink Coke Zero? And they said, yeah. And now there's new studies showing that the Coke Zero, the artificial sweetener, is actually more dangerous than sugar itself. And it can actually hinder retinopathy, make your eyes even worse. I'm like, oh, crap. So I was like, yeah, I gave that up completely. So, but yeah, I was like, yeah, but I don't blame the doctor. They didn't know, but they're learning so much more in modern science. So,
Did we learn nothing from saccharin?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now he's gonna go to the store and buy every Mexican Coke that they have. And you should, because they're delicious.
Oh, I'm gonna get one
Yeah.
for my birthday. A real just sugarcane Coke for my birthday.
Oh yeah.
I drink
Get glass bottle
Coca-Cola
and
for the
everything.
cocaine. What? No, I
So
don't
do
drink
I.
that for that. You drink the
I found a
Coca-Cola
case from
behind the
1950 and fuck yeah. What's that?
Mike, what is the worst health advice?
Yeah. What was the worst health advice ever given to me? Let's see. Let me see. The worst health advice given to me would be, if you take this shot, you can go out and do everything that the public generally normally does. Don't worry. You don't have to take another shot after that, or another shot after that, or another shot after that. And you can carry on working and blah, blah, blah. And it'll only be 2 weeks. And that's it.
And trust the experts.
Yeah.
Yes, and trust the experts.
Oh, and just to add
We're
on
no
that, the
experts here,
shot
guys.
is because when the shot, actually, I took the shot. The first one,
And we didn't murder any beagles on top of that either. So
throwing on his just quickly. When I was told, get the shot, get it, because I had a wedding to job as a photographer. So I didn't want to do it. I fought, but I'm like, I need to get this job. That's when my eyes first started bleeding 4 days after. So is it diabetes or is it something to do with that?
Embrace the power of and.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy.
Let's see. Well, there was one time that I was with this Chinese hooker, and the next day,
Oh,
next day I
You
went
got
to
the
the
yellow
doctor, and
fever.
they said how serious it was, and amputation might be a necessity. And I figured, you know, I don't like that diagnosis. I'm going to go see a Chinese doctor because, Chinese hooker, Chinese doctor. And I said,
Yeah.
well, doctor, you're going to have to amputate. And he said, nah, you don't have to amputate. A couple of days will fall off by itself.
there you go.
I knew it.
Save you
No,
time and money.
seriously, in all seriousness, worst medical advice I've ever gotten from a doctor is you need to see your doctor every year. No, you don't. Keep yourself healthy. Get yourself into a healthy lifestyle and a healthy regimen. And I went for about 10 years without seeing a doctor for anything. And I was just fine. And you look at a lot of these things. And last week, it's funny, last week we had someone chiming in the chat about how all these doctors agreed on a certain procedure for things. Well, doctors also used to prescribe things like smoking for pregnant women and a shot of whiskey every day to soothe their nerves while they were pregnant. And funny, I think now they've reversed that a little bit, like just a few months ago.
Just a bit.
Yeah,
So-
Now it's wine.
no more cocaine for your blood ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. When you really look at this,
I'm not taking the
it's-
advice of a quack who doesn't tell me that.
Yeah, I when I herniated a disc in my neck and they put me on a regimen of 3 pills 3 times a day, and then a couple months later I said, "How long am I supposed to take this?" "Oh, you're probably on that the rest of your life." I'm like, "No, I won't," and I stopped taking it, and I was fine. So yeah, your best medical advice is probably your own body going to tell you that something's wrong, and then do something that Western medicine usually doesn't do. Look for the cause. Go after the cause. Don't just treat the symptoms.
Well, here's the other thing. Don't go to WebMD because supposedly if you get the flu, you get cancer.
Yeah,
Or if you have a headache, you have cancer.
everything causes cancer. On WebMD.
I remember I stubbed
Wow.
my toe and I was like, man, what is, and I looked because it was bruising. It was just bruised. And I was like, it lasted a long time. And I was like, let me look this up. Maybe I did something wrong. I went to WebMDB. The very bottom it goes, this will cause cancer. I was like, I knew this was a joke. This had to be a joke. There's no way. Canadian Spider-Man, we're going to try again. Can we hear you?
No.
No.
No. Do
Sure.
you have batteries in your mic? No,
yes,
we can't hear
yes,
you.
I do. It's my crappy
Mike,
Canadian
don't listen to Mike.
condition.
Don't listen to Mike. Don't.
What?
oh, God.
How dare you say not listen to Mike?
Anyways, so the worst medical advice I ever got was
Here I am drinking tequila and I can't even talk. What's going on, Steve? This is bullshit. Wait till I drink my lager.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know what I'm doing here on this crap half-ass show.
So the worst medical advice I ever got was don't eat the fat on meat.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Turns
that.
out that's actually really good for you.
Yeah.
And no, I haven't seen the doctor in I don't remember. I honestly don't. I watched a video on Instagram where Dana White said I don't see doctors. Maybe for like a physical checkup, I might do that, like, which I still haven't done because like I don't trust doctors.
Mhm.
But unless I have like a broken arm or something like that, sure, or surgery. You know what? If it's surgery, I'll go to a doctor. I'll go to a surgeon. I'm not going to trust Gary or Andy to do brain surgery on me if I need to do a brain surgery. You know, even though if Gary and Andy says, "Hey, look, I can look it up on YouTube."
Look, an amputation will solve most of your problems. If you're amputating at the neck, you will not have any problems the next day at
Great
all.
cure for
Whoa.
headaches.
Thank you,
I bet
WebMD.
so.
You know, funny thing, talking about the advising that pregnant women smoke. I don't know if I told the story. My dentist, when he got out of dental school, he went over and he operated in Spain for a while. And I was joking with him, I had a wisdom teeth pulled or something, and he goes, and I said, yeah, and don't smoke because you'll get dry socket. He's all, actually, that doesn't make a difference. They smoke in the dentist's office in Spain, and there is no difference between cases of dry socket in Spain and America, where they tell you not to smoke for a week afterwards. It's
Yeah.
all a lie. Light them up.
Hey, I cut out one of my own teeth in a McDonald's parking lot once, and I was fine. Of course, the whiskey I had afterwards probably helped, but
See, okay, so that's the other thing I want to get. Here's a random question that just popped up. Have any of you guys ever been told that if a baby's crying, rub whiskey on the teeth of a baby?
I've heard that
I
one
think if
before.
they're teething or something like that.
Yeah, when they're teething.
Yeah, that I was that baby.
So
Same here.
Yeah.
It explains so much about
I
me.
still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Except
So
vodka.
here's a fun vodka. Jeez, all right. Jeez, if you want to go rough, all right. But so
Yes,
we were
because
hanging
whiskey
out with
is so smooth.
It is. So
It's
I was.
smooth.
My wife never knew about this, and she's probably gonna kick my butt when she hears I actually told this story. But we were hanging out with some friends because I went to the San Francisco Giants game this past weekend.
Right.
And it was a fun thing. It was fun to actually do. And we were all. I had about 4 beers. All cost me about $100 for that because it's all expensive. But the we were talking about some of the guys were just talking about drinking bourbon and whiskey, and I was like, yeah, like you guys know about the whole like you rub when your baby's teething, you just rub whiskey or bourbon on the teeth, and they're like, why would you do that? I was like, you guys never heard that before? They're like, yeah, but that's bad. I was like, are you sure? Because it works for me. And then I said, I do it to my dog also. My wife looked at me and she's like, what do you do? What? Huh? Who? What? And for a Mexican woman, I thought I was about to die right there. Because I was like, she looked at me real pissed. I was like, yeah, I've dipped my finger in bourbon and let the dog lick it off my finger and found out my dog loves bourbon as much as I do. Because every time I have a bourbon at home, she's all like, hey, can I have some? Can I have some? I was like, no. Wait until mom leaves and then I'll give it to you. I guess that's funny to me. I don't care. If
No,
anyone
it
doesn't laugh,
is.
That's funny to me. That's funny to me.
Oh, that works.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the next question I have for you guys. What are steps you take to have a healthy lifestyle? There it gets a little tougher, guys. Tom.
Well, like I said, just changing my entire lifestyle, getting weird news saying you got to do this and that. I'm like, no, I know I can change this around. I mean, I'm given 3 months, and I mean, I've already the last year I walk. I try to walk about like here. There's an app I use. I don't know if you can see it or not. You probably can't.
Okay.
It's a walk app, and I pulled off about 7,000 steps, about 3 miles today. I usually can go between 3 to 7 miles. I walk with it. Plus, you get coins and you get money for it.
Don't you
I
guys
try
use
to go.
kilometers up
Wait,
there?
whoa. You get paid to do this?
Yeah, you actually can get like $5 to $10 a month and Walmart cards or whatever, and do stuff. It's kind of cool. It's called
Really?
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
What if
You
we
just get on your phone and cash.
Yeah.
Pocket. So it's pretty handy.
Hey, I should do this.
Yeah.
Okay,
you go. You
download
walk
the
a
app
lot.
now.
Yeah, Cash Walk. It's a really handy app, actually. But no, I've been doing that. I try to walk 3 to 7 miles a day when I can. I got to get new sneakers. I've been hitting the weights for the last year again. Like I said, I haven't worked out in forever. I used to wrestle, but I haven't done that in years, and I let myself go. And now I'm getting straight on the eating more. I got lazy, and I depressed eat. I stressed eat, and I realized that's one of the reasons I'm with diabetic, and it's on my fault. I used to drink like 2 liters of Coke playing video games when I was young. Stupid thing to do. But
No, the
now
Mountain Dew is stupid. The Coke is fine.
Liter of cola.
Oh, I would do 2 liters a night. Just not. It's like, oh man.
Jeez.
But now, I had to make that life change, and like I said, getting the thing and saying you're still doing, and I'm still adding too much carbs, too much pasta, too much rice. So now, like I said, I'm doing 30 days with the fasting and no carb, just meat and vegetables, which is not easy. They said the first week your body's going to be weak, which I have, but I'm starting to feel a little better. It's starting to catch it. They said after that, your body's going to start feeling a little
Now,
bit better. So,
is that part of, because you talked about this? I think it was when I did the Lego build. We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that the lion diet, or is that
No, I forget what that. I don't know a name for it. Jason, Jason, he said there's a warrior diet we can eat at certain at night, doing the fasting and stuff. I said no, it's just from noon till 6 at night. I can only eat between that time, and I usually have 2 meals, and it just has to be vegetables and meats. So like I just got some food today, and there was some carb stuff in it. And I gave it to my brother and sister-in-law and them, and so I was like, I'm just cutting out for 30 days. Eventually, I'll be able to add carbs again slowly after it comes September, but I have to purify my body, and I gotta get myself in better shape. And it's finally to the point. I'm 52 next month. Time to smarten my ass up and get this done.
Because I know Jordan Peterson, he did.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was either him or his daughter did the lion diet. Did they do the lion diet or the carnivorous diet? Because those are two separate.
He did the carnivorous one. And he actually said it actually healed a lot of ailments that he had. He said, wow, a lot of my ailments went. Wow. So,
all right.
It's an expensive diet, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
It is. That's the problem I have with diets. They don't work. But when you get to like these types of diets, the carnivorous, I guess now the lion, I thought those were 2 separate ones. I guess now they're the same.
Well, Michaela Peterson gave it the title of lion diet. It's basically it's a carnivore thing, but hers is very specific because she deals with specific allergies. And apparently it's a genetic thing because her father was suffering from a lot of the same things. Now, she only does certain kinds of meat, she does this whole thing. She called it the lion diet, but like you look at her thing, her logo, and there's a lion on it. So she kind of like did the whole lion thing. It's a market.
She branded it.
But anyway. But the thing is, like, she mostly eats like red meat, which is fine. But like my daughter can't eat red meat; it hurts her stomach. But she eats like a lot of ham and bacon and chicken. Chicken sometimes will give her a migraine and whatnot. But anyway, you have to. There's a number of ways you can do a lot of these things, and the labels are kind of like. Don't get so hung up on the labels. Think of the principles. The principles are the real thing. And I could go on with a bunch of this. I'll wait my turn with it. But
okay.
The name of it is just sort of it's irrelevant. It's like just
okay. Yeah. Vincent.
Yes. Well, I'm all for living a healthy lifestyle.
Dude, I love
lies.
That's some good wine.
Hey, it's fruit.
Yeah, exactly. It's fermented fruit. So I'm being healthy.
Good for the heart. The friends say so.
Back when I was in the service, I was constantly. What the? Okay. What? No, back when I was in the service, I was eating right. I was exercising 2 hours a day when we were in garrison. I was doing fucking 2-mile runs every other day and all that good shit. And let's see, it was excuse me. It was back in 2005, and I blew my knee out in a training exercise. And after that, downward spiral, because I had most of my knee replaced, and I had some. I wish I could get a camera in there and show you. I have like a bulge in my knee from where the titanium pins are starting to back out, which are going to have to be reset soon. But that completely fucked me up. I had physical therapy out the wazoo. I never got back to the standard I was at, and I still haven't to this day. And shit, that was Years and years and years ago. I'm too fucked up to do math. But right now, what I do is I can't go out and run. I can't, do aerobics or anything like that in the normal way. So what I did was I got some resistance bands. I work out with those. And the most important thing that I do, I have a very large heavy bag hanging in the basement. And every day I go downstairs and I beat the living shit out of it for 30 minutes.
There you
And
go.
it's not much of a workout, but it works for me. Plus, it's great for getting rid of aggression. All the idiots
Yeah.
all the idiotic tweets that you read and shit. So do
Yeah.
something.
You
Don't
you
do
follow me,
nothing,
right?
but do something. Yeah,
I
I know.
want to get when I get my house. I want to get a bag too, just to let out that aggression. And I heard it's a good cardio workout. Actually,
It
not bad.
is.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's to me at least it's better than running on a treadmill or doing any other
Yes.
exercises like that. I just put on some really aggressive music, fucking beat the shit out of it for 90 seconds, back off for a minute, beat the shit out of it for 90 seconds again, and just do that for half an hour until I can't pick my arms up. And
There
then
you go.
that's it.
Mike.
Yeah. You know what? I am definitely trying with the help of my wife pushing me to get back more into a healthier lifestyle. So, we've been doing a lot of walking together. There's kind of like, I don't want to say it's exactly a walking track, but I suppose use it as a walking or jogging track, which is outside here. And
His
He
interwebs.
froze.
some
You
sports
Canadians.
and I just froze. I know, my stupid
Cold
internet.
up
So
there.
I don't even know
Sorry.
where I left off or what was the last thing that you heard.
Walking track.
You were in
Okay.
Bahamas and you were doing
No.
you were in Venice doing the
Yeah.
workout gym outside.
Exactly.
What?
Yeah, that's what it was. No. My
When these
the
two
wife and I
ruffians
live in-
accosted a young woman. No.
and then we had flying fisticuffs. See, yeah. No.
And now he's muted.
Yeah, go figure. No, I'm not. Shut up. Anyway, trying to better my soul here. Trying to share with the community what I'm trying to do.
Well, don't kiss the mic.
Well, I'm trying not to, but you're not making it easy. No,
Tell
thanks to
them
my
I'm sick
wife.
of my story.
Yeah, no, you
Anyways, go back to
butcher the animals. So,
all right
um,
there.
anyway,
Canadian.
yeah. So no. Again, and
Canadian Corleone.
1 second because now I have somebody else.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyways, as he's dealing with that, Ordy.
Okay, so I've got a fairly physical job. Actually, it's a very physical job. So working out is my 9 to 5. But with my eating, I figured out that it's not that hard to throw a salad or a soup into your weekly routine. Like, even if you order a pizza, they sell salad too. Get a side salad or something. I always defaulted to potatoes with my beef. I switch it up now. I'll use corn, sauteed mushrooms, whatever. Just cutting out that, just because if you have the mashed potato, you got to have the sour cream, you got to have the butter, you got to have the bacon, you got to have the cheese, you got to have, so I've just really started just working on adding, especially fruit. I never got COVID, but for some reason, when everybody else was craving citrus, that made me crave citrus. I go through a ton of oranges and tangerines and shit now too. So,
Dude, fucking clementines and satsuma
oh
oranges.
man,
I buy this by the case.
fucking cuties.
Oh my god.
Anytime I could decimate a bag of cuties before I leave the Costco parking lot.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I tell that to people too. Soup and salad is a meal.
Yeah,
You can just have that.
yeah. And generally, I mean, obviously the salad's healthy. Almost every soup is basically healthy. So, I mean, it's you're kind of, I mean, yeah, they're delicious, but you're also kind of, oh, hey, wait, I just accidentally ate well.
So what I do is there's a beef stew, and I can give you guys the ingredients to it. Gary actually showed me this. Oh, it's so good. It's peas, broccoli, potatoes, salt, pepper, garlic, and
Beef?
any type of beef. So I did tri-tip. Oh, man. It was, I'm not kidding. It cures all things.
It cures
was-
what ails you.
Dude, it takes 45 minutes in a Instapot. And oh my gosh, it's like it's heaven. That's all I gotta say. Andy.
Okay. Number one.
Locked and loaded.
Number one. Take away a lot of the advice that the medical industry will give you. Starting with the food pyramid, all those carbs and grains, toss it out. Think to yourself biologically what the human body is designed for. And there's food up until recent decades has never been readily available throughout the entire year. Sugar is naturally occurring in very small quantities at very few times throughout the year, unless you happen to live in the equator where there's all kinds of animals and insects trying to compete for that same fruit that you want. So we're not designed for all that kind of thing. You're designed to be able to fast for periods of time, and that's healthy for the body. It purges the body of damaged cells. It forces the body into a survival mode that really helps you to clean things out that just otherwise would kind of sit there. Of course, fasting is unpleasant. Second concept is that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, it depends what you're talking about with breakfast. Anything that breaks your fast is your breakfast. So
Cold fried chicken.
Yeah, that could come at noon. It could come at which is a great idea. It's like because you're starting off with the protein, you're feeding your body what it needs. You'll get a lot of those nutrients, and you'll hear these people, well, we don't have the teeth, right? Like, why do you have canine teeth? To rip and tear into things. So they're the deepest roots in all of your.
That's what I tell people constantly. Man is an opportunistic omnivore.
Yeah.
He will eat anything. Vegetables, animals, insects.
Right. And
anything
the cereal companies really made a fortune off of this stuff. So now when you want to start with your diet for a healthier lifestyle. Anything that's got stuff you can't pronounce, don't eat. Anything that's made in a laboratory or comes in a box, don't eat it. Like it's, so anything that's prepackaged, it's like that you're going to have to mix all this stuff with, and you have all these glutamates and all these things and chemicals you can't pronounce. Terrible things for you. Also, the seed oils, like the canola oil and the vegetable oil that they tell you are so good for you. They change chemical composition when you heat them, and it starts to block up your arteries. The biggest thing is sugar. Cut out as much sugar as you possibly can, and not just sugar, things that immediately turn into sugar as soon as they hit your digestive system. That's also a bad thing. Sugar is highly inflammatory. Back in 1972, there was a guy named Dr. John Yudkin who wrote this book called Pure, White, and Deadly, and the industry, all of the medical establishment went out of their way to demonize this guy who had been a hero during World War II, combating starvation with his cut off the supply chains during the war. So they went out of their way to discredit and destroy this guy's career because they were all getting paid off by the sugar companies. And then the oil companies came along and they developed this thing called the American Heart Association. And all this advice that they give you is counterproductive. It's bad. The things that our bodies are designed to break down fat. They're designed to digest fat and live with it. It's all this massive amount of carbohydrates that we get is not really a natural function that we're looking for. As far as exercise goes, try to balance your body out. I have a big problem with a lot of doctors where they say the best thing you can do for yourself is to walk. Walking is a good start, but if you do that, if all you do is walk, you're only using one specific set of muscles in your body. That's causing an imbalance. That's going to cause things to shift, and you're going to use one side more than the other. You're going to favor things, and that's going to cause those muscles that aren't being used as much to atrophy. And you're going to develop what is called complacent adaptations. So next thing you know, you twist your ankle, then the opposite knee starts to hurt. That's because you're favoring things and you're shifting your body in a way that is compensating for that injury, and it's out of balance. Think of like driving your car with one different size tire on it. It's going to shake the hell out of your car, and you're going to have problems with it. So try to look at things like that. Do a variety of movements. Do a lot of things. You don't have to do a ton of weightlifting. You don't have to do, but do things that are going to be challenging your body a little bit. Like go to the playground, hang on some things, do a little bit of like modified pull-ups. And I deal with a lot of people who are older, who already have decades of imbalances and immobility, and then all of a sudden they want to get back into this because now they've got a serious condition they've got to try and contend with. Well, you're going to have to make incremental steps. If you go in and you try to do things like you did when you're 25, you're really going to hurt yourself. You have to gradually start to work these things in there, work the connective tissues, get them used to accepting load again, and then you can start to gradually increase these things. It didn't happen overnight. It's not going to go away overnight. I'm in contact with a lot of physical therapists and chiropractors and stuff, and they're seeing a lot more of these cases, these issues that people used to get in their 50s. They're now seeing people get in their 30s. People are living too much of a sedentary lifestyle. They're eating like crap. They don't pay attention to things, and they take bad advice. And they're developing these issues at a far younger age. And it's a recipe for disaster. Most people you look at, like, everybody here has had, great advice because you're incrementally starting on things. And you're going to find through trial and error things that you can use and things that you can't use. Everything's not going to work for everybody. Find what's going to work for you. Be smart about it. Avoid the things that are definitely damaging to you. If you choose to, it's like, all right, Vincent enjoys a cigarette. That's fine. One out of three people will probably develop lung cancer from smoking. That means 66% won't. But it also has a relaxing effect. It can help with stress relief and tension. So
Yes.
you see a lot of these people that will drop dead of a heart attack because they don't have the stress relief because they stopped smoking. It's like, well, if that was controlling that, all right. Ideally, there's optimal, and then there's like optimal would be like, I don't need nicotine, but I don't have any problems with stress either. If you care about anything, you're probably going to have stress about it. Like, got to take my dog to the vet or something because he's, itching or something. It's causing me stress, whatever.
The stress hits you out of nowhere for any reason whatsoever.
Exactly. But the thing is, most people know they're doing something bad for themselves. Drinking to excess, doing drugs to excess, all these things, anything to excess. Hell, you can drink too much water and make yourself sick. So be smart about things and listen to your body. If you're feeling, and remember, when you get an injury, where it's presenting is probably not the cause of it. I mean, it's different if like you fall down and you break your elbow. You know that the pain you're feeling there is from breaking your elbow. But when all of a sudden you're walking along, your knee hurts, your back hurts, your ankle hurts, it's probably not that ankle. It's probably something throwing off the way that you're moving, because these muscles. And another thing, as you get older, you start to lose your balance. It's not because your brain isn't functioning. It's because these muscles inside your body have not been firing in quite a while. And they're weak, they're unresponsive, and when you need them, they don't fire. and then you end up falling down. But if you address these things incrementally, you'll see a huge change, and that's going to be a very important factor you want to look at. So watch your food list. If you don't bring it in the house, you can't eat it. So your grocery list is very important. Watch what you're eating and the advice you're getting on what to eat. Exercise. Start off slow. Do a variety of things, and strength training is very important. Resistance bands are a wonderful thing. You don't have to go into a gym and pump iron and stuff like that. Hell, you can pick up a gallon of water and do bicep curls with it, and that's 7 pounds, and it's something you're toning things.
Exactly. Use the maximum resistance bands. What I do push-ups with them around my back, and
exactly, yeah.
It's a hell of a workout.
Now, Vincent, have you done where you're sitting up on the floor and you have it around your toes and you pull it back?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you seen those videos where it smacks you right into the stomach?
Yeah,
do you do that?
There are a ton of really good videos on YouTube that give you very short, very intense workouts, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes if you've got that kind of time. And it's an entire body workout. As long as you have a set of resistance bands, anything from like the small ones are like 2 to 5 pounds resistance, and the big ones go all the way up to 50. And there are some on the market that go to even more than that. I've seen some 100-pound resistance bands, which I really need to get. But you can pack a hell of a workout into 30 minutes and not have to go to the gym at all, which is awesome.
So one of the things, the steps I take now, I like to smoke a cigar and have a bourbon or a beer, or maybe a little bit too many times. But for me, it's I've learned as I'm getting closer to my 40s, I'm trying to put myself like, hey, look, I want to have a healthy life. So it was like when my wife and I start having kids, I can stay healthy, even though I got a bad right knee, bad back, bad left shoulder and right shoulder. But I want to do things I can do that will prolong those issues a little bit longer. Because if we have kids, I want to be there and active and be there for the kids. But like the thing I do for like meals is home cooked meals. Like do chicken, do steak. I'm more of a red meat type guy. I'm thinking about doing the carnivorous diet soon. Even though my wife's like, you got to eat your greens. A salad, I'll eat a salad. As long as I make it. I don't trust anyone else. I don't trust anyone else to make. That's the thing. I don't trust anyone else to cook like a homemade meal if it isn't me for some reason. I don't know. That might just be a me thing. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, that's a you thing.
It is. I worked in the food industry for like 20 years. I know enough. Like yeah. But also like because I do fried chicken at home. I do my own fried chicken and all that stuff. I use coconut oil. Some people use
as testament to the human immune system. Anyone who has had a hamburger from a fast food restaurant during the busiest peak hours has eaten a hamburger that's fallen on the floor.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say if that's true or not. It is what? No. Yeah, if Andy's right. If
He's like, no, it's not true.
I've seen some crazy things at fast food restaurants that people do to customers. Here's the other thing. I told this to Gary before. If you take your food back, here's the thing. I've gone out to dinner with Gary and lunch and breakfast and dinner with Gary for years, quite a bit of times, because I work with the guy. He's very like, if the food doesn't come out how he wants it, he's all like, I was like, hold up, let's stop right here. If you take your food back right now, there's a 50-50 chance shot that when it comes back, it is not the way you think it is, but it'll look the way you think it is.
Hot like,
yeah, there's a lot of. You guys seen the movie Waiting, right?
Yes.
Waiting.
I have it on disc. Yeah.
Now, I know people that worked at the restaurant the film is based off of. Here's the thing. They've all said this. Everything in that movie is true.
Hmm?
Here's the thing. And I told Gary, I was like, just eat your food. I almost was like a dad and a mom at the same time. Just eat your food.
It's a good damn
Like,
it.
is it? I told him, I
The
was like,
starving
is it
kids in
warm?
China eat your food.
Yeah. He had like some hot sandwich. I was like, is it warm? He's like, yeah. I was like, are you going to get sick? He's like, no. I was like, then eat it. Because if it comes back to you, guess what? You're going to get something that you don't know. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, so I told him after. He's like, are you serious? I was like, yes. They will mess your food up.
Oh yeah.
How can he be so
Because
naive?
It's,
That's
it's
like
like
universally
it's
known.
like Temple
And
of
here's the
Doom.
thing. Here's the thing.
Like,
It's
you're
on them.
insulting them and you're embarrassing me.
Exactly. Here's the thing. When you take your food back, yes, it's the people who made the food. It's their fault. But here's the thing. If it's at peak hour, especially at like a restaurant, they don't want to deal with it. I've seen it. I've seen way too many. Yeah. But we won't go there. Anyways, one of the things I do is kind of more of a home workout is resistance bands, like Vincent said. I found a video on YouTube where it was 100-day push-ups. So I did that. And no, it's 100 push-ups a day for 30 days. I ended up going 3 months. And each month I ended up increasing my push-ups. I think at the third month I was doing 400 a day. And I'm not saying everyone's going to be able to do that. It's different for each person. And then I started adding in resistance bands. So I would do like maybe 25 push-ups, do resistance, and then change it up a bit. Because here's the other thing. If you guys work out, your body is going to do a muscle memory of what you do. So you want to change it up. For me, that's how I've learned from going to the gym before I blew out my right shoulder from bench pressing. That sucks. I hope no one ever blows their shoulder out when they're bench pressing, especially on max day. It's not fun. And so I do a lot of resistance bands because for me, I can't go to the gym and then do the weights as much. I have to use machine weights because everything's balanced for me. Like resistant bands, a home cooked meal. I think that's the healthiest thing you can do for anything. If you do like chicken, red meats, like just do a home cooked meal because it's there. Now with today's how everything is politically run with all the food and stuff, make sure you actually buy things that you're going to actually eat in a day or two because it's going to go bad real fast. And I've learned that I had food poisoning ago and from a pasta sauce. And I was like, yeah, I can wait a few days. No. And it had some little peppers in it. It really screwed me up. It did. So if you go and get your produce, make sure you're going to eat those produce with how inflation and everything is with today's society. Make sure you get groceries and especially produce, and make sure you're going to get those. Be like, hey, I'm going to eat these in the next 2 or 3 days. Don't plan hey, I'm going to wait.
Don't buy any more than that.
Yeah, just get what you need and then do that. Eat healthy.
Unless it's sets some oranges and then you buy 2 cases and eat them all in the same day.
Yeah. So, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. And you're going to be feeling like Kool-Aid guy, be like, hey. That's the other thing. It's actually have a healthy diet. Like I said earlier with diets, they're kind of funny. And I kind of mocked it a little bit when we talked about carnivorous and lion diet. There is some benefits, like what Gary he was doing. I think he's still doing it. Is the what's the diet that he was doing, Andy?
I don't know.
Where he didn't eat for a certain amount of time.
Intermittent fasting.
So I didn't need to do that, but I did that because for moral support with him. That's the other thing. If you get other guys to join you in on this, it's like accountability. And it's great. And so he started doing that, and I started doing that with him. Oh, yes.
And you have to watch out for sabotage too. For example, there I was trying to do my intermittent fasting, doing really good. My daughter wakes up and decides to cook bacon.
Ugh.
Do you know how hard it is to resist bacon? The smell,
The smell to a man who hasn't eaten in 24 hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Needless to say, bacon was my breakfast.
Yeah. So I did a diet for this short film I was acting in, and I had to fit a certain type. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this serious. It's a job. I'm
Short
getting
film,
paid
you
for
say.
it. I did the whole chicken and rice thing that as most actors do. That's like it's healthy, but God, dude, it's terrible because it's all you're eating. It's just chicken and rice. And I was dating a chick.
Sounds
in
like my
college.
college years.
It literally. I was in college when this happened. She was cooking bacon.
Ramen noodles.
I know she was cooking bacon one morning, and I was so pissed because I can taste the smell at this point. I was like, I know what that tastes like, and I can smell it at the same time. This is not funny. She's like, oh, this is just for me. I was like, bull crap. And then I found out it's like some vegan type bacon thing. I was like, oh, you tricked me. But yeah, it's the thing about having a healthy lifestyle. It's not just diet. It's not just working out. It's also being around like accountability with other people. If I come to you guys and be like, hey, look, I want to do better myself in whatever situation it is. I expect you guys to critique me and actually challenge me and be like, hey, how are you doing with this? How are you doing with that? It's more of I'm looking for other people to keep me accountable for what I'm trying to succeed at because I don't want to fail
Keep
at
you
it.
honest and keep you to standard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I'm at a point where like I'm doing a certain diet or I'm doing a certain workout and I'm just exhausted and drained, especially leg days. I hate leg days. I really do. I don't think it's anyone's favorite thing. And one of you, like, say Tom or Vincent comes like, hey, have you done leg days? No, I haven't. How about you should do it? I don't want to do it. How about you should do it? I'm going to get really annoyed because I don't want to do them. I really don't.
Don't skip leg day.
Turns out if you
It's going to be hard
you-
to do leg day when you're sitting in a puddle of piss with broken legs.
yeah.
So,
But turns
Yeah.
out if you actually do leg days, your testosterone goes up. I didn't know this until after a few years of working out. That's the other thing, guys. If you work on your legs, like squats, deadlifts, and stuff, guess what? Your testosterone goes up. And here at Man-O-Rama, we're all for testosterone going up because we don't want no estrogen in us because that's bad. That's stupid.
You know, the one thing we all kind of forgot to mention here is stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying drink gallons of what you got to drink 16 fucking gallons of water a week. But if you're familiar, I know a lot of us have been in construction and physical labor jobs. If you're familiar with the color chart, you just got to stay at that optimum level. You know, you don't have to overdo it with the water. And I hate water. I mean, it tastes like absolutely nothing. But
just think of it as vodka.
no,
well, yeah.
that doesn't help.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
It was worth a shot. Get it?
But yeah, gotcha.
That's a dad joke, dude. That's a terrible
Joke
one.
well crafted. No, but I mean, just stay in the optimal range of the color chart. You don't listen to the whole. Oh, you have to drink, 3.4 gallons of water a day, or you're going to die of cancer. No,
No,
you
it's
probably
like-
die of cancer.
It's like
Yeah.
Andy said, your body knows what it needs.
Mhm.
So, just
And
as
if
long
you're
as
not
your
familiar
piss,
with the
as long
color
as your
chart,
piss isn't
learn.
looking like snot, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
But you should
I
drink
mean,
more
clearer
water
is
anyway.
better. That's the because then you're not dehydrated.
Yeah. So here's the next question I have for you guys. Coming up right here. Boom, boom. Hey, how you doing? How can guys learn to have a healthy lifestyle? Because here's the thing. There's a lot of guys, and I've talked to some of them, and this is a big one for them. And they're like, hey, how can I have a healthy lifestyle? It's not, even though I just now found out there's no A in can, there's just CN. How can CN guys? Cartoon Networks is what I'm going to say.
Canadian National.
National. This is what happens when you're trying to come up with the questions and you're like, oh, I forgot to put this in the graphic at 2 a.m. and you put it together, so you're half asleep. Um, it's a lifestyle is more of where you live, your surroundings also. That's another big thing. If you live in a house, like I lived in an apartment in college where it was an old building. So if I say this, I know someone were like, ew, gross. It was cockroach infested because it's an old building and the landlord just gave up on it. And it just was not a healthy lifestyle. I think if you clean your room like Jordan Peterson, clean your room and make your bed. Or if you go through once a year, just purge your room or your apartment or your house or whatever it is, it makes you feel a little bit better and then you can accomplish a little bit more. So Tom, how can guys or some people who want to be technical, CN, to have a healthy lifestyle?
Wow. Well, it's been said here. First off, don't listen to everything a doctor's going to tell you. A lot of times they're just going to say, take these pills and take. Yeah, no, 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 no. Luckily, when I got into wrestling many eons ago in the '90s, I got to a lot of those guys were nutritionists themselves, and I kind of sat and talked to them and talked to nutritionists. I'm actually going to see one here again soon, to teach me a little bit more of, because like I said, I'm doing this extreme thing right now. I'm just wanting good at it, but I want to learn eventually. Once I stop this and come September, I'm going to even everything out again, but I still want to keep healthier. So first off, see a nutritionist, that'd be better than most doctors, I would say. And just follow, I can't say believe everything you read online. Do your studies 1st.
Mhm.
Don't look at everything you see fads. I hate the term diet myself. I don't like the term diet. To me, it's a changing of a lifestyle for me. I'm not dieting. I'm actually changing my lifestyle. Will I keep it this way? The 30-day thing is just to, like as Andy said, flushing my body out. I want to get it out, get all the toxins, and then from there, I'll go from there and see how I'm feeling. But just do your own studies. Study what you can. Don't believe the first thing you see. Study a couple things, and if you see repeatedly certain physicians or not physicians, people within the health field are, okay, they all agree with this. Okay, there must be something to that, and then go with that, and then also follow your own body, as it was said, just to see what works best for your body, and then go with that. Really, and that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just learning. So,
Ordy.
Ordy?
Or he might be stepping out right quick. Vincent.
Yes? Oh, no.
Yes.
The
Smoke another cigarette.
I will shortly. But the best thing that I can think of, when I was younger and when I was in the service, everything was regimented. You ate breakfast at 6 o'clock, you did PT, you'd fart around till noon, go eat lunch, do some more PT, and then at 3:30 in the afternoon, you'd leave. The best, it was easier for me because everything was regimented. I had a schedule. I knew what to do. I knew when to do it. You have to get yourself into that mindset that, yeah, I need to do this. It doesn't have to be at a specific time, but I need to do this today. Put that into your head that you need to get things done. Otherwise, you're going to end up fucking 300 pounds washing yourself with a rag on a stick, and nobody wants that shit. And like Canadian Spider-Man says in the chat, eat right and exercise. That's 90% of your fight right there. The other 10% is positive mental mindset. Don't say I need. I stated that wrong. Don't say I need to do this. Say I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to be fit. I want to be able to be like. I want Steve to be able to hold his kids when they're 6, 7 years old and weighing 110, 120 pounds, and not have him break into meat sweats every time he has to pick his kids up.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Is Ordy still there?
I just got back.
Okay, cool. I have to jump out and then jump back in because Rumble Studios froze up on me right quick. But how can guys learn to have a healthy lifestyle? And your answer is go.
it's been said so many times tonight, your body knows what it wants and what it needs. The things you crave are things you might actually be allergic to. So you kind of want to avoid them. But it just think about what you put in your mouth. Think about what you do with your body. Giggity. Right?
Tim
I
Walls.
said what, not who. My mistake. So I mean, it's just, you know what you have to do. You know what you want to do. Do what you have to do. I mean, you can splurge every now and then, but just to make a conscious effort. That's all you really have to do.
And Canadian Spider-Man just brought up in the chat, go out in the sun. That's the best place to get your vitamin D.
Yeah.
Sun, steak, and steel. That's all you need.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely, son. You know, I work in the sun all day long, and you know, it just since I started doing physical labor again and getting out of computers, I feel fucking great.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
And Orny drives at you, waits for women to say, "Excuse me, can you tell me the direction to?" He's like, "Yes, it's over there."
Right.
What time is it?
Orty would be the type of person.
It's 6:00.
There's a juice bar that way or that way.
Also, don't
I'm
fall
so
into the bad
tired.
shit. It's like I live near a ski area where they do actual like regenerative IVs. That just, I mean, yeah, I get it if like you're in the military and hungover, but if for just your fucking common rando to just go, you know what? I'm feeling a little sluggish today and a hangover. I'm gonna go get an IV. Drink some fucking water. Really.
Yeah.
90% of my time as a medic was giving people IVs on early Monday morning before PT.
Yeah.
Because they had overdone it.
See, because in construction, we just stick our fingers down our throat and get to work.
That works too. But
I know a lot of guys in construction
Mike.
that start drinking first thing Monday morning.
Yeah.
Mike, so the question that we have is, how can guys learn to have a healthy lifestyle? Now, that's not to do with diets, working out. It could also be where you're living. Also being accountable, like having someone accountable with you. Like if I'm working on my at the gym, having guys can be like, "Hey, have you done your leg days?" And I just give them the finger, like, "No," but then I have to do it because you have guys coming to you that you trust. They'll be like, "Hey, I want to challenge you. I'm pushing you. I'm not doing this as your mom or your mammy or your daddy. I'm doing this as your buddy." Like, hey. So how can guys learn to have a healthy lifestyle?
I think it comes with a bit of reevaluation of self. You know, are you actually truly happy with where you're at as a human being, physically, mentally, you know, the whole kit and caboodle, the whole 9 yards, right? Because I mean, yeah, you know what? Here's the thing: we've been talking about, you know, like living a, you know, men and you know, how to live a healthy lifestyle, and you know what? A lot of it has been pretty much on, and I get it, on the physical side, right? But here's the thing, you know, I mean, to really live a healthy lifestyle, it's got to begin in the head, in your head, right? It's got to start with a thought. A single thought. It's either going to be, you know what? I'm happy the way that I am right now. I'm happy being a, you know, 300-pound slug that's on the freaking couch doing nothing but eating Cheetos and you know, and having orange fingers for the rest of my life. Or, you know, it also comes with the thought of, you know what? I don't like not being able to see my feet. I'm gonna do something about this. Right?
I was going to say something else. I haven't seen my dick in 6 months.
I haven't seen my wiener in about a year. I have to do something about this now.
I have to look at it in a mirror.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost an innie. That's something.
That's a
wrong.
guy. That's a guy issue right there. Women don't.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Some women do.
But you know what I'm saying, right? It begins with, you know, what you're thinking. and you know what? And I'm lucky for as much as we both, sometimes bitch and complain at each other about, everything. I am lucky that I have my wife because, on occasion she will say, you know what? I want to see you live a long time. And so going back to what I was originally saying before, our landlord of the shop came in, you know what, we've been out walking lately and going out, along this walking path that's in town and whatnot. And a couple of months ago, she bought some sporting equipment. She got a basketball, she got a couple tennis rackets and stuff like that, right? And like, for example, yesterday, as much as I hate the sport of tennis, we were very half-assedly playing tennis. And you know what? I didn't exactly mind whatsoever because it's, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yeah, I got some chub around the stomach area, and that I do need to lose. Yeah, what? I can do a shuffle too, just like Stark Warrior, if you want. But no, I mean, serious. We were out, we were playing a bit of tennis. Sure, I had to chase the ball a couple of times because I didn't get it, but you know what? It's good to get out and to get walking and to think about things long term, because what I've heard a dozen times by now, that once you're around 50 or maybe even a little bit of or a little over 50, sometimes it's hard to lose that weight, and it's for some odd reason it's just harder once you hit 50. And I've said for the longest time, I'm going to live a long time. It's going to be really hard to get rid of me, as I joke around with the kids that way. But looking at myself more and more, and sometimes I will grumble and moan and I don't want to do this right now, like go out for a walk or something like that. I have to reevaluate and think, okay, you know what? It's going to be better for me in the long run. I'm going to be, hopefully a little later on down the road, healthier. So I am going to be around for my kids when they get older. They are getting, one of them is getting pretty close to like 30, right? I want to be around for grandkids or even great grandkids, so it's a lot of it. I think it just starts mentally where you're at. And if you are determined to get yourself healthy, it starts mentally. And then if you're really what's the word I'm looking for? Committed to it, and I'm sure that Ric Flair Jr. can probably attest to, then what comes along after that, once you got it here mentally, physically, it'll come. You'll want to do it. Some people I've even heard will get addicted to it, to working out and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my long and short of it.
Nice. Ric Flair Jr.
A healthy lifestyle, it's been said many times here. The most important thing is to start and then keep up on it. You have to remember that people you care about want you around. They want you to see the things happening in your life. Like Mike pointed out, things like grandkids and stuff. Your children want you to meet their kids. My kids never got a chance to meet my parents. Maybe a healthier lifestyle and a little less cancer would have made that possible, but that's what life had. You don't know how long you have, but it's really stupid to knock some years off of that number, whatever it is. You'll hear people say stupid things like, that guy that ran every day still got a heart attack. Yeah, but he may have died 5 years earlier if he didn't. Everybody knows what a healthy lifestyle is. What it comes down to is you have to take responsibility for your life. the McDonald's didn't make you fat. You eating McDonald's over and over again made you fat. The people that tell you exactly what you want to hear are not your friend. The people that say, "Oh no, you look fine. Don't worry about it." It's, "Oh, that doesn't matter." Yeah, they're not your friend. They're helping you sign your death warrant, and it's not cool. It's like, you have to be smart enough to say that, like, you know what, when you're obese, it's rough on your joints, it's rough on your heart, it's rough on your circulatory system. Your blood vessels are inflamed, things get clogged in there, and you're going to die prematurely. Don't do that. Like, if you do, look, I have a saying that the person in the mirror is responsible for 95% of your problems, but they're also the potential solution for 96% of your problems. So everybody's going to get things handed to them, but be smart. Do the best you can. You get one body and one life. And the things you're going to be able to do with your life are predicated on how well your body works. So if you're not going to take care of it, then you're not going to have as many experiences as somebody else in life. And it's a shame, because there's a lot of people out there that don't get life that would love to have those experiences. And a lot of people out there that get the opportunity, but they sit around and they don't take care of themselves, and those opportunities pass you by. My friend Bob has the saying, "If I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself," which I've co-opted. And
I say that all the time.
I've never met anybody who's, like, you tell them, "Hey, you're going to die in 6 months." Like, you know what? I'm good. I've seen everything I could possibly want to see. Held every grandkid I want to see. Like, it's, there's always going to be something that you're going to miss out on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wring as much life and quality of life as you can out of this thing. And so when you're, and I hate that stupid thing about where it's like, you don't want to die and be in that casket, like, as a pristine corpse and stuff like that. That took, I want to, like, do all this and screech my wheels into that can and be like, man, what a hell of a ride that was. Yeah, it's a shorter ride. You can still enjoy yourself. You can do a lot more things. I would say you can enjoy yourself more if you take care of yourself. So
Yeah,
that's all that I try to say. And look, if you choose to live your life a certain way, that's fine. But remember, other people are watching you. And if you can inspire somebody to do just a little bit better, then you're on the plus side. On that note, I do have to run. I have a bunch of work to finish up before I get to bed.
well, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Great seeing you.
It was
I
fun.
knew this episode was for you, man. I knew it. I was like, dude. So thank
All
you
right,
very
guys.
much.
Have a good night.
Woo!
Aaron.
You too, brother.
All right, now that senior citizens been kicked out, we can party. No, I'm just kidding. I love Andy. He is. The thing about Andy is, I've met him a couple times, and he's a lot of things he said of, like, how to have a healthy lifestyle. Because everyone thinks, oh, diet and working out. No, it's like your surroundings, like even the people that you hang out with, that can affect the way you live your life. I try to hang out with, like, Tyler Day, who's in the chat on YouTube. How you doing, brother? I try to hang out with guys that will benefit me to make me grow more as a man. Did I miss anyone else on this question?
Nope.
Because then I'll answer it.
Not yet.
Actually, if I can just say that, I'm glad Andy showed up.
Son of a bitch! You Canadian? No, I was kidding. What?
No, that's why I brought it up, because I wanted him on it, because I wanted to kind of pick his brain or at least learn from him, because the
You
lifestyle
want free advice?
it's very inspiring. So he inspired, and like I said, I'm on this journey right now to change, and it's kind of scary. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Like, dude, serious. Did you see when he flexed his arm? It was like, holy shit.
Oh, the guy's in great
Well,
shape.
here's the
no,
other
right?
thing.
Yeah.
Here's another advice. If you want to get healthy, take that goddamn red hot chili pepper shirt off. Not right
I love
now.
I love my chili peppers.
I'm just
Still gonna
kidding.
see them live someday.
No, that's the other thing. Like what Vincent was just saying. I look at Andy. He's like 20 years older than me.
Hmm.
I'm reaching close to my 40s. I look at him. He's built and stuff. The reason why I don't go to the gym is financially. It's just by the time I do construction, so by the time I'm done doing construction, I just want to go home, have a beer, have a home cooked meal, do something. I'm exhausted. I can't do anything else after. And I say that, and then I do pickleball. Here's the thing, guys. I have found the cure to, if you don't want to go to the gym, learn pickleball. Because here's the thing. It's not that, oh, you're going to be good at it. I've done it for about almost a year. I do once a week. You will learn how to be humble, because I played with one of my friends in our couples group, and we played against a couple who's 80 years old, and we're like, all right, like this is 80 years old couple, like we're gonna go easy. We won the first match. They hustled us. I'm not kidding you. They hustled us in a way that we felt so embarrassed that we didn't want to come back. Like they schooled us. They took us to school.
So it's like a real life version of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
It was.
Yeah.
They were, and they're the most. And I'm so glad that they're Red Sox fans. I am so glad. It's every time I show up and they see me, they're like, "Oh, did you watch the Red Sox game?" I was like, "No, I didn't, because I don't have cable." And they're the most loving couple ever. And the husband is hilarious. And he comes up after he smoked us. He's like, "How does it feel now?" I was like, "I don't want to even look at your little face right now. You smoked us." It was like 11-2. It was bad. I was like, "God, man, you smoked us."
Wow.
But one of the things for guys, my issue with this is, and I used to do the same thing in college. I got lazy. Cut that shit out. Don't be lazy. That's the number one kryptonite for guys to just, I don't feel like it. Just go. That's all I gotta say. That's the model for tonight, is just go. Go eat right. Go to the gym. Go play pickleball, tennis, whatever it is. Anything to keep your body active, because I know a lot of guys who are older than me who look like twigs. If you met me in person, I got a gut, but I look like a twig a little bit. But the thing is, I can lift heavy things because I've trained my body in doing construction and doing all that stuff. It's like, that's my workout, is construction, lifting iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. And
Oh yeah.
pushing. That's the other thing. I did a short video earlier today, right before the show, critiquing. It's not a bad thing. If you got guys going like, "Hey, you need to maybe go to the gym or do something active, play ultimate frisbee, do disc golf, go outside, get some sun in you." Everyone says, "Oh, you got to put sunscreen on." As a Floridian, I'll say this: fuck the sunscreen and just get the sun. Trust me, it's being active. If you sit on your butt playing video games, doing YouTube stuff, whatever it is, all day, every day, the sun up, sun down, you're not going to get what you need to do to push yourself. Because if you're just sitting there doing YouTube, gaming, whatever it is, which is fine, that's fine, but you got to make time to actually evaluate your life, whether it is doing a spring cleaning of your house, being around people who are going to motivate you and push you to be a better person. Or, that's not really stupid how I said that, how to be a better man. That's a better way of saying it. Or just eating right. I'll say this: there's a lot of guys who were like, "Oh, when you get married, it's like that, yada yada yada, marriage and all this stuff." Like, here's the other thing: when you get married, I've learned this: your wife will pick some really good food, and if you know how to cook and you can hone in on that stuff, dude, not only is your sex life going to be great, but everything else is going to be a lot easier. because you're cooking really good food. Learn how to cook something good to like nurture your body. That's the thing. There's a lot of guys who just sit there and just be like, nah, I'll eat Doritos and Mountain Dew. Like, okay, that's all fun and games, but you got to do something outside of that to energize yourself. You're being lazy. That's the key thing of it. You're so comfortable.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'll use this as an example with my marriage. There's a point in my marriage where I get, and it's with anything I do pretty much, and it's a problem I'm working on, is I get comfortable real easily, and I get in that I become lazy. My wife didn't like it, and I told her, I came up to her and I was like, look, I'm getting a little too comfortable with the marriage. That's why we're having issues. I'm not being challenged enough. And she didn't know how to challenge me the proper way. So I went to someone who's been married for 70 years. And they said, I don't have the answer. I was like, well, who does? He goes, good luck. I did actually meet a friend who said, look, you just got to push yourself. You got to find other guys who are married or other guys who've been dealing with a lot of just being comfortable to push you.
Right.
That's the thing. It's accountability in a lot of ways with a healthy lifestyle. I expect everyone on this panel who's been on Man-O-Rama, who's been on Lego Build, to be accountable with me if I say, hey, look, I want to work on this. And they come to me and be like, hey, are you doing this and this and this? I'm like, no. If I go to Tyler Day and I was like, hey, I want to do devotions for X amount of days. And he comes up to me. He's like, hey, have you been doing your devotions? And I say, no. It's not his fault that he's coming to me. It's me being lazy and the fact that I'd rather go on Netflix, Amazon, Paramount, whatever it is, to look up stuff. We need that accountability to build a healthy lifestyle. And also I'll say this. I said have a clean room and house and stuff. I'll say this right now. I don't have the perfect place. My place is a mess sometimes, which is okay. That happens. But as long as you can just be like, hey, I need to work at myself to better myself as a man.
Yeah.
With guys, I think society these days, we need men like us to push these guys to be better, whether they like it or not. With how society is, it's like you need to be emotional, you need to cry all the time, you need to do whatever it is. As men, we should be like, fuck that. We're gonna push you to the point where it's a breaking point where you don't want to do this anymore. Because once you pass that point, man, it's so much easier. It's just a wall. It's a health, like I think the reason why is because Tom brought this topic up. And I was thinking about this this week, and we'll get to tip of the hat in just a few minutes. But I'll be real with you guys. I got really down on myself because I'm reaching 40. I don't have kids yet. By the time my kids, if I have kids, they're 18, out of college or whatever, I'm going to be in my 60s, my 70s. And that's kind of, as men, we don't really think about that. Especially if we're married or we're with a girl we're dating that we want to have kids. We don't think about it as much. We don't. It's just, for me, it isn't. And as I'm getting older, I'm learning that. And I'm like, man, so I need to better my life in a way where I can live a little longer. Because let's be honest, men, we don't last as long. We sacrifice. We put ourselves through the ringer. Like, even sitting here, I have back pains that's just killing me. Mainly because I have probably a rib slipped out right now. And it feels like a night. Here's a question before we get to tip of the hat. Have you guys ever had a rib pop out?
Not pop out.
No.
I had broken a rib when I worked at the fishery. I used to work at Connor Brothers, and we'd take the fish, we put the big frozen fish into the vats, and I broke my rib on one of the cages one time doing it. It hurt. Ow.
So, Vincent Orty, have you ever had a rib pop out? Did they just walk out and leave? They did.
I never got an ordy. I never had a rib pop out.
Oh.
I wouldn't even know what that feels like.
All right,
Never
I'll
stop,
tell you what
never
it
had-
feels like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I just talked to Vincent about that. All right, cool. Anyways, Ordy,
Yeah, hi, present.
have you ever had a rib pop out?
No. No, I had to think about that when I got thrown off a
Lucky.
ladder when I was doing construction. I separated 2 ribs, but I never popped them out.
So I've had 2 ribs, one on my left and one on my right. Right before I got married, my left, either my left or right side. I think it was my left rib, my lower rib, popped out of place right before I got married. And then for our 5-year anniversary, my rib popped out on the right side. It feels like a knife digging into you. It sucks. So we ended up going. I was getting healed up, going to chiropractor, and I was going on a roller coaster because we ended up going to Florida.
Right.
I understand old people now. I do, because I was like, I can't do this ride anymore. I'm getting out of the seat and I'm like, I can't do this. My wife's like, you're not that old. I was like, you don't know the pain.
Now, Steve, before we continue on to that, can I bring up a point that you were just talking about? Since I came up with this idea, and I wanted to bring this point up, you were mentioning it. It's like playing video games, sitting at home on your computer and stuff. Being a filmmaker and stuff, sitting at a computer, editing a lot, doing YouTube, doing stuff online, it did get to me after a while. And that's why I started to randomly say, let's go take my camera and go out just walking, shooting random stuff, which I do more now. Because I'm like, at least it gets me out. I'll walk right to town and just shoot. It's not for a job. It's just, it gets me out. I still get to, and I had to force myself to do that because I was getting complacent sitting in a seat. I was getting too, and that's why, like I said, I was getting out of shape and I was letting myself go. And I figured, force myself to do this shit because I have to, because it was catching up to me. And go out, just force myself, go take a shot. Or now I'm doing vlogs in my city, trying to talk about how my city's growing and new stuff about the city. And it gets me out. It gets me doing my stuff. It gets me walking about. And then I bought some old cheap weights. I do the weights. I got to get those bands too eventually. But I got some loose dumbbells. I've been using those for the upper body, the arms and the chest and the shoulders and stuff. And just forcing myself, because you get to a point at my age, I'm like, no, I got to do it now. Before I'm going to be too old and going to be hurting. So that's why it's like the life change. But yeah, no, that point was really good. Like, get off your chair. You can love your video games, you can love your stuff, but you gotta move around.
Whoops, I hit the wrong button.
Wow.
You know, this episode has been it's been fun. Be flexible. That's all I gotta tell myself. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. I liked what you had to say.
I was pretty much done, but because I just,
cool.
Add to your point. Yeah.
But on that note, so at the end of the show, we like to do a send off for all the men that have played an important role in our life. And because we don't do it in the hat, because I ran on the names, and there's some people didn't do. There's like, I think, 30 names in the hat that no one knows. Look into these, but that is where we actually give thanks and props to men have inspired us personally, or that we know, or even watch on TV, actors, whatever it is. So we don't know what each person is going to pick. Yeah. So who would like to go first?
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay. Cocaine Bear is your pick, isn't it?
Yeah, all right. Cocaine Bear. Yeah. No, actually, not too dissimilar. This weekend was the 6th anniversary of the death of a man who is an absolute unit, and that is Richard Bebo Russell, commonly known as Sky King. He stole a Bombardier Avalon, Bombardier, shit, can't even remember the Q400 from SeaTac Airport. I don't recommend this. I don't, condone this sort of thing. He had no formal training, just flight simulator games. Took it off, flew around the Seattle area for about an hour and a half, went up, saw Rainier, went up to the Cascades, asked coordinates for the orca that was in the news because he wanted to, quote, see that guy. Then he took the plane and did something that it was not designed to do and nobody thought it was capable of doing, and did a barrel roll in it.
Wow.
The F-15 interceptors were impressed. Ground was impressed. Everybody was impressed with it. Thought that that was going to be the end, that he was just going to crash it in a Puget Sound. Flew around a little bit more. They said, well, let's get you back to an airport and see if you can land that thing. He's all, nah, you know what? I think I'm just going to go nose in and call it a night. Went out of his way to avoid harming anyone. Made sure that, nobody was going to get hurt by crashing. No boats or people or anything around. Not everybody knows the time and date of their death. And I don't encourage suicide by any means.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to respect the fact that when he thought that this was his time, he did something that was memorable and is kind of an idol to a lot of people for just the absolute balls that all of that took. And to pull off the barrel roll.
That's more impressive to me. What was the plane that he flew?
Bombardier Q400. It's a twin engine turboprop. It usually has 78 passengers. This one was being used for cargo at the time.
That's pretty difficult to do.
I mean, you can hear when you see the video footage and everything, you hear the F-15 pilots going, yeah, he pulled it off. Air traffic control confirming he did the barrel roll. And just, some people in life just want to do a barrel roll.
Do you think like one guy's like in the background, but like here?
Yeah, I was him.
Probably.
I was. I would have done the same thing. You did a barrel roll?
Yeah.
Cool. Mike.
Let's see. Somebody on my tip of the hat. Let's see. You know what? Okay. I'm going to my tip of the hat. Here we go. Goes to a man named George Anthill. Okay, who was a man that provided a lot of things. He was kind of this American avant-garde type of person that you know what, he was a pianist, he was an author, and he was an inventor, and more importantly, this guy helped invent Wi-Fi, which has been working extremely terrible for me tonight because this guy couldn't have come up with something better for my computer to constantly go on the fritz and give me the crappiest friggin' Wi-Fi experience ever while I'm trying to be on this show. So
Tesla did it better.
George, if you're out there, yeah, that's true. If you're out there, which you're not because you're dead. Thank you.
Because I was going to say this.
Wi-Fi.
I was going to say this.
Something better.
If you were going to be like for Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
I was like, well, except Canada, and
Yeah.
all right, Tom.
Ethernet.
Son of a Ethernet. Yeah.
But I'll-
Cat 7 or get the fuck out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow, this is a last minute one today. I had another name, but I'm going to bring up this name. It was that already did that gentleman who did that. Actually, it made me think of a guy that I admired. His name is Jan. I'm going to mispronounce this and butcher it. Mardenborough. Jan Mardenborough. There actually was a movie about him, about Gran Turismo. It was called, and he was a guy who played video games, And he ended up competing. He competed in this
that
thing
dude.
just by playing video games. The movie's amazing, by the way.
Oh,
And
it
he
is.
ended up being a top-notch racer and winning tons of awards just from playing the amazing game, but also Gran Turismo. And it's like, whoa. He did, and he was actually in the film too. He's one of the background drivers, so he actually is in the film, the actual guy. But
Mhm.
just an amazing feat that it shows you can still play video games and do good things. Don't down on video games, people. So, and he taught himself the
will.
simulation with the wheel. I used to have one, and he ended up becoming a champion, like just from so dedication. And people laughed at him. It's like people don't realize there's
Nice.
actually esports now. There's arenas for esports now. Even entire arenas dedicated to esports. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, with the video game industry being $1 billion industry. So it's like, it was quite a fascinating story. And like I said, you watch the film on him, it's like, wow, what a really cool story.
I actually ended up watching. I forget who told me.
That is actually.
I think it was
cool.
John.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's here. I know he's dealing with a lot and everything. I just want to say happy birthday to you, man.
Yeah, dude.
I ended up watching that movie, and I ended up talking to people who worked on it, and they said it was very closely to how the actual story happened.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, he was on set, like I said. He's actually one of the racers in the background too, the actual guy, which is really.
I
cool.
heard that one of the scenes that they did, they took it out. He actually outraced everyone.
Yeah.
On there, he's all like, "I'm just gonna do it," and it was impressive. My tip of the hat is gonna be for Mike.
Me.
Yeah, you. I know. See, everyone has to pick me sometimes, and it feels weird. It's awkward for me. I'm like, okay. Thank you. But for Mike,
Nope.
I've talked to this dude. It's been a few weeks where I've talked to you almost daily. And to get to know you, you are a father figure to me in a way where I can just come to you and just vent. And I know it probably annoys you to ever fucking living life sometimes. But the conversations we have, when I was dealing with depression, when I was dealing with depression with this show and everything, and I talked about it on the 1,000 subscriber celebration, it's you actually just giving me good advice. And it wasn't advice as a friend, but it was how a father would give advice to a son. And I thank you so much for everything you've done for this channel, for this show. It means a lot to me in a way where I can come to someone and just call them up. Or sometimes if I call you up, can I call you later? I've gotten that recently. But it's the fact that I can call you up and we can just talk and just hang out and just shoot the shit, pretty much. You're like a brother and then you give me father figure advice. And it means a lot to me because growing up not having a dad, it's one of those things where it's a trust thing, because I don't trust older men who are father figures because of how I grew up. But just how you come across, I'm like, dude. And I've taken every advice that you say. I take every advice from Andy, Gary, and all that stuff. I thank you very much. It's how you approach yourself as a father and how you care about your family and how you push and you be like, hey, look. And we've had some deep conversations where you're like, hey, look, this is what I'm dealing with. And then we talk. And then the thing about me is when people come to me with some things, deep, heavy things, and I'm like, I don't even know how to approach this. I just listen. That's the other thing with guys. When you get older, the best thing for men to do is just listen. Because honestly, listen to people who are struggling or just saying, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Just listen. And that's what you've done with me is you just listen. And it just makes me appreciate the people who I've chosen close friends with. And Are you gonna wipe your tears with some Kleenex?
I know.
No DNA. Yeah. So that's my
Yeah.
tip of the hat is to Mike. He is a guy who I have come to for advice or just wanted to talk or vent. And he's heard me vent, and I
Thanks,
know I
man.
probably annoy him to the other living life of everything.
You
I
annoy away.
Oh man, because I've heard a lot of people come to me and just annoy the living shit out of me and everything, but I listen. So thank you very much. On that note, as chaotic as this
Nope.
episode was, I want to thank everyone who was on this stream: Vincent, Ordy, Mike, Tom, Andy, Canadian Spider-Man, who's in the chat, who had technical difficulties. We will all figure that out because, yeah, who doesn't love a Canadian Spider-Man that looks 50 some years old, but who's 57,
Exactly.
who's in their 50s but looks like they're fucking 20. It makes me put me to shame. But
I know.
this weekend there won't be any Lego build, no podcast, no nothing, because I will be in Colorado on a trip. I am taking a little vacation this weekend.
Nice.
A needed vacation. I will drink a lot of bourbon and scotch. It's probably scotch is what it's like a $700 bottle of scotch is what I'm going to be drinking. I don't know.
Wow.
Next week we will. I know, right? Ooh, yeah. That shot is about like $5, like probably about a $10 shot right there. I'll drink it like a man. Next week, speaking of scotch, bourbon, and whiskey, next week we will be talking about the proper way of drinking of alcohol. Because that has come up and is something
with
that
your hands.
guys.
That's the show, everyone. Good night.
Yes. Because that's come up and I've noticed it needs to be talked about. And there's an actual proper way to do it. Sometimes I fail, and I will talk about my faults on it and all that stuff. So next week we'll be talking about the proper ways of drinking scotch in bourbon, whiskey, alcohol, and armpits and elbows and knees and whoa. Anyways, so that'll be that next week. But if you want to tune in on on my channel on Rancor Steve, every day on YouTube I do a short. It's called 60 Seconds of Advice. And supposedly that's a bigger hit than anything I've ever done on this channel. So if you want to see, yesterday was a huge hit. I hit a massive point with cooking. Supposedly people like cooking. We'll be doing that. And in a couple weeks, probably in September, I will be doing an all episode of veterans who have served in the military, who are also serving in the military. This has been a long time coming. Man-O-Rama will be doing a special episode with all veterans. So if you have kids, put them, lock them in their room, because the conversations will be very interesting. I'll put that. I know Vincent is excited. He's wanting to be on that. I'm talking to a bunch of people who've been in the military who are serving. I think JRC might show up for that one. So yeah, I will be doing a military episode in September. I don't know when, but we're working that out here on the Man-O-Rama crew. And yeah, so that's the whole point. So I will see you next Tuesday as we talk about the proper and healthy ways of drinking alcohol. There is a way of doing it, guys. There is. And yeah, on that note, every Tuesday night, I like to do a send-off for the show, because I'm delayed on it, because I just, that's how I do it. If I can find it.
Yeah.
As a producer, host, I should get this down right? Guys? Yeah. Why can't I not find this? I know. I cannot find this right now. Jesus, man. Did I delete this soundbite? No, here it is. Here you
And
go,
you say
guys.
bye-bye.
Everybody, Donald Trump,
Oh, okay.
our great president, unlike you, Tom, and Mike, maybe one day you get someone like this. We'll do a
Yeah.
send-off.
Pierre.
say
I know.
Bye-bye,
No.
everybody. I'll see you guys next week. You guys have a good weekend. I'll see you guys next week.